Stormbridge is a base building game with some roguelite mechanics, where you're racing against a literal storm that's chasing you down. You begin on this tiny island and have to build a bridge forward while managing resources and keeping your settlers alive. What makes this game interesting is how all the elements harmonize together and build on top of each other. You're managing the resource chains, keeping your people fed and happy, and deciding what to sacrifice when the storm inevitably catches up and wrecks half your stuff. Don't worry, there are some measurements you can take to combat the storm. So here's how the game works. You've got this card system that gives you resources and new buildings over time. These cards refresh automatically and you pick what you need. So for example, you need wood, maybe fish, maybe a new building type you haven't unlocked yet. Early on you're setting up basic stuff like walls for dirty water, distillers to clean it, wood farms and berry farms. Everything here operates on timers that you can speed up by upgrading buildings with the right resources. Now your settlers of course are what make everything run. They staff buildings like fishing huts and later on you can assign them specialized jobs. But they need constant care. If they are hungry, their hunger meter drops and they start dying. If they're unhappy, they just leave. So you're building houses for them to live in, churches and dance floors to keep happiness up, and making sure you have enough food production. It can get pretty tricky because more settlers means more mouths to feed. And if you build a fishing hut, it actually takes a settler to operate it. Now the storm is on a countdown timer in the corner. When it hits, it destroys buildings in its path. The first storm might last 60 seconds and strike 25 times, but each one gets worse. That means longer duration, more strikes, and it covers more distance. You see buildings getting wrecked and have to rebuild everything before the next one comes. There are ways to slow it down with time displacement items, and you can delay it by a set amount of seconds with certain buildings. But you're basically in a losing battle unless you figure out how to stop it permanently. Now that's where the whole Faraday device thing comes in. The game mentions finding this device to neutralize the storm forever, which seems to be the main goal. You travel through different eras and eventually different biomes that each have their own mechanics. For example, in the tundra you deal with freezing temperatures and need to manage heat. In the sky biome you send out helicopters so they can gather resources and rescue people. As for the resource chains, they get pretty deep. You start with the basic stuff, but eventually you need electricity. That means building coal burners or gas extractors. And gas extractors work way better if you place them on islands. Then you can run electric cranes and electric smelters, which then produce your resources way faster. Once you unlock defensive buildings, things get more interesting. You can have small shields, for example, that protect nearby buildings from lightning. Turrets can actually damage the storm itself. A sniper turret reduces the storm's health by 1%, but it also makes it approach faster. So there's also this risk-reward thing, but all the defensive stuff needs electricity to run. So you definitely have to manage your power production on top of everything else. Now keep in mind you will lose your run eventually. The storm just keeps getting more intense until it destroys everything. But that's how the game works. When you fail, you get rewards based on how far you got. You can then pick permanent upgrades like faster walking speed or happiness bonuses. You also collect pets along the way, and each one gives you a buff. Apparently you can end up with 5 unicorns or a whole collection of dogs, penguins, frogs, whatever. These carry over between runs and help you push further each time. Between runs you also have a home island where you can build your own base in a chill environment without any storm pressure. You can spend your resources here, and there are cosmetics to unlock for your character. It's a nice break from the constant rushing. The game is made by a solo developer who says it was inspired by going through a rough period in life, which honestly makes sense given the whole outrunning a storm metaphor. And this sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.